When Michael Carter was a young man, he had nothing except a dream and a strong desire to build a better life. He grew up in a small town where people knew each other as struggles, but they also judged each other quickly. Michael's father had passed away when he was only 16, leaving his family with financial problems. His mother worked long hours to provide food and keep their small home running. Michael was not the smartest student in school, and he was not born into a wealthy family. He wore old clothes, carried a second-hand backpack, and often stayed quiet because he knew his situation was different from others. Many people looked down on him because they believed success belonged only to those who had money, connections, or a powerful family name. After finishing school, Michael had a dream of starting his own technology business. He spent years learning, reading, and practicing his skills. He created ideas that he believed could help people, but when he shared those ideas with others, most of them laughed. One day, Michael presented his business plan to a group of local investors. He entered the meeting room with confidence, holding his old laptop and a folder full of notes. He explained his vision and how he wanted to create affordable technology solutions for ordinary people. After listening for a few minutes, one of the investors smiled and said, "Michael, you need to be realistic. People like you don't build big companies. You should find a normal job and stop chasing impossible dreams." The words hurt him deeply, but he stayed silent. Another person in the room laughed and said, "Look at yourself. You don't even have a proper suit, and you're talking about building a company." Everyone in the room laughed. Michael felt embarrassed, but he picked up his folder, thanked them for their time, and walked away. That day, he promised himself that he would never allow other people's opinions to decide his future. For the next several years, Michael worked harder than ever. He took small jobs during the day and spent nights improving his skills. While others were sleeping, he was studying. While others were wasting time, he was building something. There were many moments when he wanted to give up. Sometimes he had barely enough money to pay his bills. Sometimes people around him reminded him of his failures. But every time he remembered that meeting where people laughed at him, he used that pain as motivation. Slowly, things started changing. Michael created a small company from his tiny apartment. At first, he only had a few customers. He answered every call himself, solved every problem personally, and treated every client with respect. He believed that a business was not built only with money, it was built with trust. Years passed, and his company started growing. The same people who once ignored him began hearing his name. His small idea became a successful company known across the country. Newspapers wrote about his journey, and many young people looked at him as an example of determination. But Michael never forgot where he came from. One day, he received an invitation to attend a major business conference in his hometown. Many successful people, including investors and business leaders, were attending. When Michael entered the hall, everyone stood up and welcomed him. Among the guests were the same people who had rejected him years ago. They looked different now. They were no longer laughing. They were watching him with respect and surprise. After the event, one of the investors who had insulted him approached him. His voice was softer than before. "Michael, I hope you remember me," he said. Michael smiled politely. "Of course, I remember." The man looked uncomfortable. "I made a mistake years ago. I didn't see your potential. Today, I need your company's help for a project. I would like to work with you." Michael looked at him quietly. Years ago, that same person had made him feel worthless. Now, he was asking for his help. Many people expected Michael to take revenge. They thought he would remind them of their mistakes and make them feel the same pain they had caused him. But Michael did something different. He offered his hand and said, "Everyone makes mistakes. The important thing is that we learn from them. I believe people should be judged by their actions today, not only by their mistakes from yesterday." The room became silent. People who had once underestimated him now saw the true reason behind his success. It was not only his intelligence or hard work. It was his character. Later that day, a young man approached Michael and asked, "How did you stay strong when everyone rejected you?" Michael smiled and replied, "Rejection is not the end of your story. Sometimes rejection is the thing that pushes you toward your true path. Never let someone else's limited vision become the limit of your dreams." Michael's journey became a reminder for everyone that people often judge others too quickly. They see someone else's current situation and assume they know their future. But they forget that every successful person has a beginning. And every beginning is difficult. The people who laughed at Michael only saw a poor young man with an old laptop. They did not see his determination, his late nights, his sacrifices, or his belief in himself. Years later, the same person they rejected became the person they needed. Michael never became successful to prove them wrong. He became successful because he refused to give up on himself. And that was the greatest victory of all.